Hi, I'm Shreya and this is Decoding Code. In this video, we will go over classes and objects, and then we'll go into packages and how you kind of organize your files. And then to wrap up this video, we will talk about comments. Now, I will be using a Java IDE that I, in my previous video, installed. So if you haven't watched that video, please go over there and watch it. Now, you might know this, but classes are where you write your code. Now, over here in the Package Explorer, I have a project, and it's called Animals, and this project is kind of an example for today's video. So if I go to source directories, I have packages here, and we'll talk about packages later, but I have classes in each of these packages. And now, classes are where you write your code. Now, in classes, there are objects. Objects are like a subcategory of classes. Now, objects work in the same way that kind of everything in this world does. They specify more about a class. Now, for example, I could have a class, and in the class I could say, snakes have a mouth and two eyes. And that's true for every snake, unless they don't. But in this case, that is true for every snake. And in my objects, I could have two objects. And in these two objects, I could have a garter snake and a python. And then in the objects, I could specify things about that snake, like its color, its weight, its length, its, I don't know, if it has venom, and things like that. Using objects makes it so much easier, and your code will be less cluttered and have less lines of code, because what happens is that you don't have to write the general knowledge twice for each snake. You kind of already have it, the knowledge put into use, so you don't have to write it twice. And that is just super useful for when you have a lot of code to write, or when you have something that's true for multiple things, and then you could just use a class and objects. Now we'll get into packages. Now, if you can see here, I have a package called birds, a package called dogs, and a package called snakes. And packages are basically like file folders for your files. And it's just kind of an additional like organizational step, so your code is very organized. Now, if you have multiple files in a huge project, and those multiple files are in the same category, and they kind of are about the same thing, then you can put them in a package. And if you have a bunch of files about birds, then you can put them in a birds package. Or if you have a bunch of files about dogs, then you can put them in a dogs package. So it's just kind of very easy to find your code. And if you wanted to, you could just go into the package and then find your file, and you would be all good. Alright, now to kind of wrap up the video, I will talk about comments. They're kind of little pieces of writing that the code or the computer ignores. So when your code is being executed, the computer ignores that piece of code. So you don't really have to worry about it being executed. Now in Java, comments can look like this. Alright, so there are kind of three ways that you can write a comment, and you can see that I did it down here. And so the first way is to write a backslash and an asterisk, and then your comment, and then another asterisk and a backslash. So that will ensure that whatever is inside of these kind of walls is a comment. And also, if your comment is more than one line, then you can also do the same thing, and that will work. Now, something that won't work for 2 lines of comment is these 2 backslashes. Now, this way only works if you have 1 line of comment, because if you type anything after this, it'll think it's code, and then it'll give you an error, or it'll be very confusing. Now, comments are pretty important, and you should probably use them a lot while you're starting out to just kind of give yourself an idea of how everything's working and how your code is organized and all of those things. Now, that is actually it for this video. In my next video, I will get into kind of the components of coding in Java, and that'll be super cool, and we can go over kind of the main parts of code and programming. and that will be super exciting, so I really look forward to that. I will see you guys again next week with that new video. If you like this video, like and subscribe to my channel for more content, and comment down below any questions or feedback that you guys have for me. I will see you guys again next week. Bye!